that camera mount is definitely gonna fall. And I gotta switch my light on. Doubt that even makes a difference. Um, yeah, okay. So, what the hell am I doing? Um, Welcome to where the magic happens. This is my workbench, my workspace. I just was in the process of getting a nice new LED shop light, so I figured I've been meaning to try and make videos for a little while now. Um, Never got around to it, and with classes now getting in the way of me actually doing a lot of building and painting, I figured maybe this is a better, way use of my time instead of, getting everything set up and then being like, oh, I don't have enough time to build anything, right? Projects are going to take longer. So we'll see how this goes. I think a video where I am literally just doing this off the cuff and not editing it, I mean, you know what? Maybe my friends will get a kick out of watching or something. Um, what am I going to talk about? These are completely unedited and unscripted, by the way. I'm just going to upload the raw video file to YouTube because I can, or wherever I upload it to. I don't even know. Um, yeah, okay. How should I start this? My name is Dennis. I am a 20-year-old scale modeler from Ontario, Canada. I am a university student. I'm studying computer science right now with a math minor. Uh, as far as modeling, I've been modeling semi-seriously for about 2 years now. I work at a hobby store, so I'd say honestly my modeling skills are not that good, but I do have a lot of like industry information, that sort of thing. Like I like talking about models almost as much as I like building them. I normally am an armor modeler. I have basically done 1/35th scale since I was a teen. Um, but then this summer, when I was on break, I ended up making the jump to aircraft, primarily 148 and 172. I've got a couple of 144 kits, but I don't even know when I'm going to get around to those. Um, I really hope I'm in view of the camera. This would suck otherwise. But yeah, I'm basically a reformed aircraft modeler. I was born again. I now think that flying things are a lot cooler than things with tracks. Although I do have a pretty horrendous stash of armor kits. So that's who I am. I've taken a lot of things from armor and implemented them in aircraft. So as I'm kind of cutting my teeth on kits and getting better at building aircraft, I'm also over weathering the hell out of them because I can. I've got like literal mud I've put on some aircraft. Um, but that's my style, right? And I think with modeling being an art form, you can do your own thing, right? Um, I guess what I should be talking about today is I've got a big project, well, big for me, coming up this fall because when I'm filming this right now, it's September 20th. And I'm actually really excited about it, so I thought I would talk about it. So, I guess I should begin because it's a bit of a story as to how this project has come together. So, Chris Sieber, also known on the internet as Luftraum72, had a book that was published by Scale Aviation Japan, and it was his super detailing the F-14. Great book. If you can find it still, because like I think I bought like one of the last copies in Wheels and Wings in Toronto. If you can find it, get it. Stupendous. Um, and when I read his book and I saw that, I was like, I want to get into doing aircraft more with more detail. I want to make something that looks reasonable, right? Because like I've made aircraft which look good, right? They're great in the display cabinet, but I would never feel comfortable taking them to something like Heritage Con, which is it's a big Canadian modeling show that happens out in Hamilton every year. I just wouldn't really feel comfortable entering that and ever expecting like to get any kind of a performance out of it. Like I'm not a guy who builds for competitions. I don't think I ever will be, but I'd like to at least get like to a higher skill level with it because I've been doing modeling long enough and I've got all the supplies that I need to do good models. So it's like, let's give it a shot, right? Anyway, so bearing that in mind, that desire to get better at modeling, um, I'm chatting with all the guys at Wheels and Wings because it was a big event, right? It was an event where basically Chris was signing his books. I think his head editor from Scale Aviation Japan was there. Really nice guy. John Chung of Scale Scriber fame was there. Who else? Harvey Lowe was there. Hi, Harvey. I think you'd be probably one of the few people who would actually end up watching something like this. Um, so they were there. It was like a kind of a who's who of Toronto scale modeling. And anyways, so I go there and I meet two gentlemen, Jorge and Henry, and they are also from Oshawa like myself. And I was like, wow, this is really what a coincidence. And Jorge ended up giving me these. He just he just gave me a Ziploc bag full of these paints. He didn't even I hadn't even like met him yet. And he was just like, hey, do you want these? I don't know how well these are going to show up, but you get the idea. These are called Model Tack lacquer paints, and I've learned that TAC stands for totally accurate colors. So there you go. He gave me, what the hell did it just get on my hand? Ugh. He gave me 4 colors. He gave me the RAF interior green, the dark green, dark earth, and the sky colors. Model Tack. I guess so. These are the new paints that these guys are developing. So as far as I understand it, and my brief conversations with must mean Henry, I think, at Model Tack. So these two gentlemen are in Oshawa, and they have started a company, business, making lacquer paints. So they are making these airbrush lacquer paints, and yeah, I mean, you can't really see it probably with the camera, but these things are stupidly thin. Like, these are the thinnest paints, the thinnest out of the bottle paints I've ever dealt with. And I mean, I'm really excited about that because like my reputation where I work is that I'm the guy who cuts this Tamiya lacquers with like 20% retarder and another 70% thinner, right? So I like paint thinner. It smells good. But anyways, so these two amazing, lovely gentlemen, like super personable, really, really nice gentlemen, just say, hey, try out this paint, right? So great, they're fellow Oshonians, they're making paint. That's awesome, right? So it's exciting. I go home, and on my train ride home, I'm thinking, okay, well, how can I test this, right? Because most of the kits in my stash are either modern 35th scale armor, like, Abrams, AA7Vs, that sort of thing, or Japanese stuff. Like, I've got special hobby Japanese kits. I've got a Prius in there. I've got, the Kawasaki C2. So I run the gambit for all of the Japanese aircraft subjects. I don't have any British subjects, which I have built them before. I've done a Spitfire and a Hurricane from Airfix in 72 scale, like, back when I was a kid. It wasn't amazing. The only British aircraft I can really think that I've done lately is the Airfix's 1/48 scale Sea Fury, which was in the export markings. I don't know if this coffee's cool enough yet. And that was a good kit. That had markings for an aircraft that flew off of HMCS Warrior, which was which was the RCN's first post-war dedicated aircraft carrier. So I built that. That was great, right? Post-war British subject. I mean, it won't really work with like RAF BS 250 like Dark Earth. That's not going to work, right? So I needed to get basically a kit to work on where I could test these paints out. Right? So when you combine the fact that I needed to test, I needed a test bed for these paints, with the fact that all summer I've been meaning to do, like a kind of an early war Royal Air Force, or Commonwealth aircraft, I thought, okay, let's see what we've got. So initially, I was at the store, working away. I was like, talking to my coworker, and he said, get Revell's 1/32 scale Spitfire Mark 9. Because that one actually has 416 Royal Canadian Air Force Squadron City of Oshawa decals. Like, it literally says City of Oshawa on the side, which, cool, right? But then I read reviews on it. It was like, it's like an Airfix quality kit, basically. It was a Revell kit, right? Newer Revell Germany. So it's like not terrible, but not good, if that makes sense. And it was 32 scale. And I've built 32 scale. I mean, I've got a Phantom that I did in 32 scale So I'm not unfamiliar with this size, but when I'm evaluating, how busy school is making me already, I thought, okay, I can't realistically hope to get a 32 scale plane done, by the end of the fall and the winter, right? So, okay, that puts me towards, okay, am I going to do 72 scale or 48? Now, I was thinking of doing 72 scale. Airfix makes a very nice looking Hawk or Typhoon in 72 scale. I thought, oh, I could try that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, 72 scale is great if you've got a kit like Arma Hobby, right? Where you're getting basically to employ maximal detailing out of the box on a small aircraft, and then that kind of works to the advantage of the model, right? You've got all this detail packed into this tiny package. It's really cool, right? Airfix, right? I don't really care enough, right? So I go looking on the shelves, and eventually I come across this. Again, I really hope this is on camera, but regardless, you'll see enough of the box to be like, oh, he's got Tamiya's Spitfire kit. So, this is Tamiya's. I think this is a 2020. This is, I think, a 2020 kit. I could be wrong. It was like this kit was released sometime between 2019 and 2023. Actually, no, it's a 2023 kit because we had just gotten it at the store I work at. Yeah, okay, so this is a 2023 boxing of a 2018 molding of Mark 1 Spitfire 1 to 48 scale. And it also comes with the little Tilly car, the Royal Air Force's utility truck. That's also in 48 scale. But so I got this. This is basically, as far as kind of my research has gone, this is the kit. If you want to do a 48 scale Spitfire Mark 1, you want this kit. And it's a fairly modern kit. I mean, like, 2018 by Tamiya standards is very new. So I thought, okay, you know what? I don't want to have to get bogged down with a kit like Micromirror's USS Growler, right? I don't want to have to sand. I don't want to have to putty. Does it make me a shitty modeler? Yeah. But I don't care, because, again, I'm not trying to win anybody's approval here. But I was like, you know what, this works, because it's painted in colors that I can use these tack lacquer paints to do, and I don't even have to buy anything else, right? Like, beyond the kind of detail painting, I've got the colors right here that I need, right? So, I thought, you know what, okay, I'm going to be trying out a whole new bunch of techniques, a lot of which I shamelessly have stolen from Chris Sieber. Thank you for your understanding, Chris. Things like using Liquitex acrylic ink for doing weathering and simulating wear on paint. I'm going to try and do a decent pre-shading job, a decent post-shading job without making things look too bad. Yeah, and the other thing is I'm going to try and add detail where I can, right? One of the things I like about this kit is it comes with a load of detail already. Like, and obviously my crappy phone camera will not pick any of this up. But overall, it's solid. I've seen Edard's 48 scale Spitfire, and I'd say that was better in terms of surface detail. It was also like double the price. But like, reasonably speaking, it's actually like, pretty good, right? You've got complicated rivets on the engine cowling where they actually have gone to the trouble of making like a fairly not overscale but damn near overscale fastener. Rivet detail is actually really good where they have it. The surface detail is pretty awesome. The panel lines are fine, and especially once you get primer on them, they're going to get pretty well filled in. I mean, yeah, it's a really nice kit. What I really like about it, and what really kind of shocked me about it, was that it is absolutely loaded with bling when it comes to Tamiya kits, right? Like, Tamiya kits have never been known for having a lot of, like, photo etch or masking stickers or, even just stickers, period, in them, right? Because that's just not how Mr. Tamiya rolls. It's very much a case of, you get what you get, it's an amazing kit, it will build perfectly, go buy aftermarket stuff if you want that so badly. But this kit is different because it comes with this. I I don't know what I'm seeing. I need to figure that out. Maybe get like a monitor broadcasting my phone screen. But yeah, you get some of this fairly reasonably thin photo etch. It's to me it's typical silver photo etch. Lose my voice. Well, that's just the right level of hot. Um, but yeah, they give you all of this really nice photo etch. Like you've got seat belts, harnesses, gun sights. They give you two different types of gun sights, which is pretty awesome, right? Because like that's a detail that a lot of the 48 scale aircraft kits just do not render at all. Radiator grills, some raised areas on the wings. Um, yeah, intake covers, that sort of thing. It looks like extremely nice photo etch. So that right there made me think, okay, you know, it's a lot cheaper than buying Edwards Spitfire, and realistically, why would I buy the Edwards Spitfire to begin with? Photo etch, right? So like, yeah, it doesn't come with like the cockpit dashboard in photo etch. I kind of prefer actually painting it and using decals, anyways. That's just what makes me a weird modeler. It also comes with these raised stickers. They actually have like a very faint raised detail on them for the knockout panels on the windshield. And of course, you have Tamiya's uncut masking stickers. It comes with nice decals as well. Decals look pretty awesome. I might end up trying to basically reproduce these. I have a Cricut machine, right? So I might try using vinyl to reproduce them. I'm not entirely sure if it's worked because so far I've tried to do roundless, mostly Hinamaru's, right? Because like it's literally you stick it on, it just has to be a perfect circle. You spray it red. I've tried to do Hinamaru's with a Cricut before. Didn't work out well. I used masking tape, so I'm gonna try using vinyl, like actual proper adhesive vinyl this time. We'll see if it holds shape. If that's the case, I'll just use these as templates, right? But overall, everything's really nice. They give you quite a few stencils. Against me, I'm glad to see Tamiya's kind of heading in that direction. Um, I imagine if I can get vinyl to basically not like stretch when I'm applying it, um, I'll probably end up just scanning this, cutting vinyl masks, and then doing that. Because it'll really help with the whole painting process. That way I don't have like really nice shading and paint weathering, and then you see the round and it's completely perfect. Like that just makes it look like a sticker, right? The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rivet this kit. I know Spitfire Mark 1s did not have very prominent rivets, especially towards the back of the aircraft. I do not care. I could not care less about accuracy in that regard. I just like riveting aircraft. I find it really really enjoyable. And it presents a very nice looking surface. To me, it doesn't really rivet, like, they don't do all of the miniature rivets on their planes, so I'll do that. But beyond that, it's just going to be basically focusing on getting back to the basics and doing a good job building the plane. Kit looks amazing. I'm really glad I bought this. The other cool thing is that it comes with a second kit. This is a 2-in-1. And it's $10 cheaper than the original boxing of the Spitfire. So I mean, hey, save $10 and get a new kit. Or fine by me. The little Tilly. I actually built this in 35th scale. I really enjoyed it. It was a fun build. It's not complicated or anything. The 48 scale one obviously is not as detailed. It's simple. It's a basic model. But you know what? I think it'll be nice to put that with it. So I've picked up supplies to, like scribing tape to basically improve my rivets. I tried to do riveting an airplane already, and I liked it enough to decide to do it. So I've got that. I'll try doing some masking. And we're going to try and focus on getting a very detailed paint finish. The other thing I did is I picked up a crap load of foil paints. I'm also going to try oil paint rendering. And then I picked up one other thing. This kit, this is very out of character for me. I actually got a book. These are the Doolittle Media kits. Basically, what these are, they're like thick magazines, right? They're nice looking miniature books, written usually by the guys who are involved with like Tamiya Model Magazine International and that sort of thing, right? Like, if you flip through it, you can tell it's clearly done. The layout's done by the same guys who do TMMI. But this one is basically building Tamiya's 48 scale Mark 1 Spitfire, the new one. So, same kit as I'm doing, this is going to be a reference, point of inspiration. I'm going to more or less shamelessly copy the techniques used in this book to try and make a good looking model. The goal being, come next year's Heritage Con, I could take the Spitfire, put it on the table, and I'm not expecting a category winner or anything. I'm not even expecting to get in third place. But I'm expecting to kind of be more in the league of the good modelers in Ontario. Kind of flesh out the technique a bit. So that's the plan. Work isn't going to go fast. I'm probably going to end up riveting the wings in class, but who cares? Yeah. So it will be interesting. It's going to be a fun journey. My plan with the whole video thing is like, I'll take these unscripted videos maybe as I'm like doing the kit or like whatever, right? Upload them to a YouTube channel, I guess, and work at it from there. I'm also going to start a website where I can actually show off my work and for my computer science projects. So maybe while I end up doing this, I'll also upload it there. We'll see. This is all in the future. Yeah. So that's the plan. That's the project. I'd like to get started as soon as possible. I really would. And I think where I'm going to start is riveting. And I'm not going to go crazy with it. I'm not going to try and do anything like flagrantly out of scale or incorrect. I am going to look at an actual rivet diagram. I'm going to use War Thunder as a reference here. I know it's sacrilegious, but I think it'll work. And my goal is basically, if nothing else, just to add a little bit of like surface texture, right? So when I end up doing like a wash in some oil paint rendering, you're going to have like just something for the wash to darken, right? Come on. All right. But yeah, basically you can see, well, I don't know if you can or not, but the wings have some rivets on them, like major ones, but not all of them. So the goal is basically we're just going to rivet the crap out of the wings and the fuselage, and we'll see how we go from there. But yeah, that's all I've got for now. So I will do another update when something of importance happens, and then we'll take it from there.